Welcome here to a very special broadcast of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, here where sports meets life. It is my honor and my privilege to welcome with me at picture in picture Jeff Monken, the head coach of the Army and Black Knights football program. Coach, how are you?
I'm well. Thanks for the opportunity to be on with you.
Absolutely. And first and foremost, I know that there's plenty of season to be had, but congratulations on the start, the 5-0 record for the team. And I'd love to just, from your perspective, see how you believe the team got to this place to be able to withstand whatever was thrown at them in these first few weeks.
We got really good leadership on our team from within. I think our captains are doing a really good job. The veteran players, our seniors, are doing a tremendous job leading our team. And they've driven the standards every day from January until now. They practice hard, they train hard. Um, they do all of the little things that we as coaches know are important and want them to do to maximize their potential. So it's very much a player-led team, and I think that's made all the difference in the world for us.
And when you speak on that player-led team, it would be hard pressed, I think, for anybody on this specific team with a military academy such as the United States Army to say who is one leader. So I don't think you could pick just one, but is there someone in the leadership world of this team that you believe has maybe surprised you in how they've stepped up and in what they've done in these first few weeks?
I can't say enough for our four team captains. They're all different personalities and lead in their own way, but they all do a really good job with our entire football team, not just the offense or defensive units that they're attached to. But I can't say enough for what I think Cody Winokur has meant to our team. And Cody's a guy that was here, uh, entered the Army mentorship program, which meant he became an enlisted soldier. So his opportunity to go out there and serve alongside the 10th Mountain Division soldiers, just a tremendous opportunity for him, and the growth and the maturity that comes with that. He returned with an entirely different perspective and earned the respect of his teammates and was voted captain this year. And he probably plays less than the other captains, but has as much or more of an impact on our football team and our locker room as any of those guys. And Kyle Lewis is doing a great job, and Max DiDomenico and Bryson Daly, all of our team captains doing just a remarkable job with our football team. All have a voice.
Yeah.
Um, all are willing to lead and be in front of the team and say what needs to be said and hold others accountable, but they hold themselves to such a high standard, and they're really a great example for everybody in our program.
You mentioned Bryson, and I know that there's a lot of accolades that have come with this season for him from his role on this squad and what he's been asked to do and the success that he's had. How do you see how he's handled the national recognition and just what you've taken away from the type of human being that he was going into the season and what he's done up to this point, and the fact that there is some exposure to the work that he's put in?
He's a coach's kid,
Yeah.
so he's very grounded, understands the game, understand what it takes to have a winning team, and I frankly, I'm not sure he really even notices all the stuff that's going on in the periphery. Uh, when there is success, then there's going to be headlines and people talking about those things, but it has no bearing on how we play this weekend. It doesn't uh, help us have a better practice this afternoon. He knows that,
Yeah.
and he knows it's his job to be prepared, to be our quarterback, to lead the team, to make the right decisions, to to be a competitor, and he does all those things. He does a great job.
For you, Coach, here with Jeff Monken of Army football, starting off the season 5-0, being inside of the American Athletic Conference. When you and I first spoke, we were talking about the fact that you are going into new territory, right? Somewhere you've never been when it comes to the American Athletic Conference and being a member of this conference. We start off the season non-conference against Lehigh with a victory, and then FAU inside a conference, a victory there, a victory against Rice in conference, a victory against Temple in conference, a victory against Tulsa in conference. What have you taken away up to this point of the American having played within the conference and having the experiences that you've had up to this point? Just what you can say about the caliber of the teams that you've gone up against and maybe how you would define the American up to this point.
It's a very talented league, a lot of really good football players, and we've seen that the last 4 weeks, and we're we're very much anticipating seeing a very talented team this weekend in UAB. Well coached, um, teams are well prepared. Obviously, we've had some success, but it's a fight every week, and it's a great league, and we're really excited to be a part of it and feel honored to be a part of the American Athletic Conference. So we're just doing our very best to represent our academy in this league and try to be competitive.
When you look at the academies and you look at Navy, also 5-0 with you, I know that that Army Navy game is a massive game and it's a very serious game, a very passionate game. Do you look across the table at Brian Newberry and appreciate the fact that the military academies within the American are both at the top right now?
No, I appreciate the fact that our guys are playing competitive football, and frankly, for anybody else, I don't pay much attention. So, but our guys are doing a good job, and our staff's doing a good job, and excited for the success we've had. But that's that's behind us, and what we got to do is fight like crazy to try to win this next one and continue the success.
Is there a moment in the locker room for you, Coach, this season up to this point that has really just stuck out to you, either from something that one of the guys said themselves, one of the captains came forward with, or a moment that you had where you were speaking with the team? Is there something that kind of lingers with you that has been one of those special moments that you hold on to up to this point?
Um, I don't know if I would call out one. I think probably maybe the after the first ball game, um, Cody Winokur, who I mentioned again now, is he stood up in front of the team and just said, "Look, you know, each week this is what we've got to strive for, is to be in this locker room and celebrating a victory, and you know how we got here to this victory. We've got to remember the things that we do each week and the preparation that we put in to get to this result. So, let's not um, pat ourselves on the back. Let's get back to work tomorrow and get ready for the next one. And I think that just that's the spirit in our locker room. Our guys aren't afraid to celebrate and enjoy a victory, enjoy a play, and that they make, but they 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 realize that it's important that we get back to work and get refocused. So I think that's very healthy for it. Excuse me, very healthy for a team.
And defensively, when you look at the team this season, you've been able to shut out other teams in quarters, take an entire quarter away from a team. Just when we go to the defensive side of the ball, especially most recently, what you were able to do in the game against Tulsa, just what that piece, that element of the team has really shown you to minimize the opportunities, which I know that, Army is all about minimizing those chances, and then making sure that you're shutting down complete quarters in games. Just what you can say about the defense.
Well, the defense is doing a really good job, and it's been very much a kind of a bend don't break. There's been times where we've bent and we've allowed teams to drive the field on us, but we've done a great job of keeping them out of the end zone for the most part. Um, with Tulsa, their drive for a touchdown early in the game against us was very much like the drives we like to put together. It's 15 plays. It was um, 75 yards or something like that, and took up several minutes off the clock. That's kind of how we like to play, and that ability for us to be able to do that, on a fairly consistent basis keeps other teams from having opportunities to put their offense on the field, all their athletes, and so there's been times where our defense has bent a little bit and allowed teams to move the football, but what they've done is come up with plays, whether it's a turnover or a fourth down stop, to get the other team off the field. So Nate Woody, our defensive coordinator, does a great job, and our players have, just been playing really tough, physical, active football on defense.
We speak on offense and defense, but one of the places that gets such little love nationally is special teams and the importance and everything that they do to decide where your defense is going to have to defend from to where your offense is going to start. When you look at your kicking game and you look at the punting game as well as, the snapping side of things too, because we've seen a lot of snafus that happen when that's not where it needs to be. Special teams overall put together through these first 5 games and a 5-0 start, how would you assess your special teams?
The specialists have done a really good job. Snappers, kickers, holders, punters, I think are doing a really good job. We've protected our kickers, protected our punter, protected our PAT field goal kicker.
Yeah.
Those are all positives. And certainly when the field goal PAT team goes out there, there's points at stake every single time. So those are big plays. We haven't covered kicks this year as well as I would like. And in years past, we've done a really good job of covering kicks, and we've allowed some kickoffs to pop out of there on us. We haven't given up a touchdown, but we've had some longer returns than we'd like, and we had a punt play early in the year. We missed, I think, 4 tackles on the same punt play, and they had a decent return. And those are hidden yards that make a difference in football games. And so we have worked really, really hard the last few weeks to try to correct that. Um, we saw those flaws early. Have worked hard in drill work and in practice to get those right, and still a work in progress. But yeah, on the punt block, a punt return team, um, we've tried to put some pressure on some teams. Um, haven't had a lot of opportunities to return. We've unfortunately put some balls on the ground catching punts. So, I mean, there's some areas of special teams we got to play better. And it's an area that we really take pride in, an area that we have uh, excelled in years past. And we've got to again make special teams an area where it really contributes to the overall success of the team. And fortunately, we haven't had really any plays against us that have been costly in the kicking game, but we haven't created a lot of big ones kicking the ball. We've had a couple successful fakes, and those have made a difference in football games for us. And so, again, a work in progress, kind of like our whole team.
Hmm. And you and I going into the season spoke on the offense and what people think it is, but maybe some wrinkles and different pieces that you wanted to bring into it and develop and kind of accentuate the offense. In this 5-0 start, it would be easy from the outside looking in saying, well, they're undefeated, so, all is well. Are you in a place where some of those things that we talked about or you alluded to in our conversation going into the season have they been put into the offense scheme the way that you wanted them to be? Do you feel like this offense is evolving into what you anticipated?
Cody Worley's doing a great job calling the offense and preparing our staff and players. And that I can't say enough about the job he's done. Really pleased with how well he's coordinated it and has it organized and simplified for our players and staff. Um, Certainly we've had some really good drives and we've made some big plays, but there's areas for improvement, and we've got to continue to to improve on a weekly basis as other teams play. Their guys are playing more snaps and they're getting better, and we're going to have to do the same. And there's still times where we don't sustain blocks long enough. Um, we miss assignments. Uh, we haven't been always as efficient in getting the yards that are kind of out there on that play. We get a ball in the perimeter and we don't get positioned leverage wise on a defender where we need to, and there's probably a lot more potential in that ball that gets on the perimeter, or there's times inside where we let a block kind of fall off, and a guy makes an ankle tackle where that might have been a bigger play through the middle. There are all those things that we've got to do from a fundamental standpoint and an assignment standpoint that we have better control over, that we've got to improve on. It's been times in the passing game we've made some big plays, but we've left some out there in the passing game, and there are going to be games this year that are going to be really tightly contested, more so than the ones we've played. That we're going to have to make those plays. We can't leave those plays out there on the field. So constantly just trying to improve and perfect what we're doing. But our guys are working really hard. Um, we we spend an inordinate amount of time on the fundamentals, on ball security, and so being a good blocking team, being a team that takes care of the ball is really what we're striving to do. And we feel like if we can do that, then we can kind of methodically move the ball down the field and turn the chains, and that's the brand of football we want to play.
Final note from you, Coach. You have the opportunity to be at home for the next three. You mentioned UAB, then East Carolina, and Air Force, all going to come to West Point. Just what you can say about this upcoming matchup against the Blazers, what you've seen from them, and the fact that you get to be in front of your fans in your familiar place for the next few weeks.
UAB may be as athletic of a team as we've seen. Their quarterback, the Zeno kid, is dynamite. He didn't play in the last game. I don't know if he's going to play this Saturday. Certainly, uh, he's a huge piece to their offense, and um, just really good throwing the football. They have been a good running football team, and you look at what they did at Arkansas. I mean, they were going blow for blow with those guys, and here's Arkansas just beat Tennessee on Saturday night on national TV. So um, they're a perfectly capable team. They might be the most athletic defense we've faced, and with a team like UAB that is that athletic. Um, I've been in their shoes and not having had the start to a season that we hoped, and a team like that is desperate, and they're going to play really hard, and they got a competitive coach who does a really good job. He's a championship coach, and so I know it's going to be a great challenge for us, but hopefully our guys will be up for it.
That coming from Jeff Monken here, the head coach of the Army Black Knights football program inside of the American for their first season as a member of the AAC. Coach, as always, I appreciate your time, and bigger than anything else, thank you for helping to lead the men that help to protect the freedoms so that you and I can go out to the grocery store, live our lives, do the things that we want to do. So more than anything else, please give my best to the guys and thank them for all the hard work that they do.
Well, I can assure you that our players and all their classmates, all the 4,400 cadets that are here that will be officers in the United States Army, are here because they have a spirit to serve this nation, and they proudly do it and humbly do it, and we're very grateful for them as well. So appreciate the opportunity. Beat Navy.
Take care. Have a good day.